Hello, everyone. I'm your host, Ike. And today my guest is a human rights advocate working in blockchain. Geoff, tell me who you are and what you do.
Thank you for the invite, Hike. Before I entered the blockchain space, I worked in different non-government organizations supporting human rights causes. It started off one day about 7, 8 years ago. I was attending one of these networking meetups at a place called Cyberport in Hong Kong. Think of it as a tech hub where startups, entrepreneurs meet, right?
Mhm.
So I was just networking at these events and I saw someone wearing a watch with an orange logo with a B in it. So I struck up a conversation with them. Ah, that's a Bitcoin watch. Nice. And didn't know anything about them. I still thought of it as just magic internet money. And it didn't compute in my mind back then. So fast forward to 2017, I was recruited to co-host an event about fintech. Being from a metropolitan city here in Asia, to me, things like transportation, financial services, all these are just so readily available to us. I can just leave my apartment right now, go downstairs, that's an ATM. But think about other countries such as Africa, where sure, you still have very connected cities, but in order for you to actually connect with people and send money, you don't walk a couple miles to just send $50. You don't do that. And it's a paradigm shift where you realize financial services shouldn't be taken for granted. And even if you have banking services and all that stuff, we've seen in, say, Cyprus, Iceland, banks can shut down and your money's just like gone with it, all right? Poof, where'd that go? And in some cases, your national currency isn't worth as much as, say, for example, Bitcoin back then. As low as it is, with even with the fluctuation, it's more stable, right? So it was at around that time where it occurred to me, this is more than just magic internet money. This has real impacts, positive impact on people's lives. And at that company where I was working at that time, at this place called Cyberport, as I mentioned earlier, we've been hosting all kinds of conferences and meetups on fintech, insurance, payments, and eventually blockchain. And it seemed like a whole new world opened up. So I thought, all right, I've been doing this hosting events for 3 years. This is too exciting not to go in and try it for myself. I want to at least explore what it is, right? No one's an expert. Everything's new. So let's jump into it. And that's how it started. My journey of becoming an in-house marketer at various blockchain startups, from DEXs to custodians to DeFi, dApps, you name it. And in my mind, the origin of this orange little logo represents access to everything from finance to, if you want to stretch it further, to freedom.
Mhm. So you can safely say that it all started with a watch with an orange logo on
Yeah,
it.
with that orange logo on someone's watch. I don't even remember that guy's name, but I remember that logo.
So that was a hell of a journey, right? From
For
NGOs
sure.
to hosting a fintech conference to finally become a in-house marketer for different crypto companies.
That's right.
And that brings me to my second question, which is what projects are you working on, or projects are you working on right now, and what problems are you trying to solve with them?
At the current moment, I am working with a company called Journey. It's ultimately a jewelry company. So everything is NFC chipped. So when you tap the pieces onto your mobile, it leads you to a certificate that proves it's authenticated, which ultimately is one of the reasons why when we talk about supply chain, blockchain can be used to prove where things have been. Like nothing can be faked, right? It either is or it isn't. So
Mhm.
the fact that you can just tap it and immediately authenticate something, even something as simple as, a piece of jewelry, I believe is an important thing to be put into this world. Otherwise, the importance to me is bringing crypto to the wider masses. You don't have to understand how the engine works for you to drive a car. And similarly, when you put forward a transaction, whether it's through an
Mhm.
exchange or whatever, you don't have to know everything from hash rates to block time or whatever. You just need to know that it transferred. You sent something, the other party received it.
We are early and we still need time to get there. So we're going to be around like you did for the last 7 years. And
I think we're going to be okay.
yeah,
Especially today is Bitcoin Pizza Day, and we woke up and saw an all-time high. Like
we marked 15 years, right? It's 15 years.
since the guy Laszlo, right, bought two pizzas,
Yeah. For 10,000 Bitcoins.
and that was the first use case.
Yeah, it was. You told me about the jewelry. You're working with that brand, working on their marketing, promoting and
That's
stuff.
right.
Any other companies you're working with at the moment that you would like to speak about?
Right now, I'm only working with Journey, but my previous roles, I guess this topic has become more prevalent now. So before Journey, I worked with a layer one blockchain that deals with quantum resistance. The idea is right now you have companies like IBM or even Google or governments as well developing quantum computers. Right now, they're not at the level of being super powerful just yet, but when they do, and that day, some people say it's very soon, say 2 years later, some say 10 years. And once these computers become powerful enough, encryption systems, wallet addresses of anyone who's ever made a Bitcoin transaction, your private keys will be exposed. It's important to look at the dangers, but what are the pros? You discover things so much more quicker. So I guess it's a matter of this technology, what it's used for, because it's neutral.
It's the same story with giving a human a tool. They can use a spoon to eat a soup. They can use a spoon to poke someone's eye out. So like,
Yeah, you can be John Wick.
I mean, it's the same story over and over. Um,
For sure.
so how long have you been in the crypto spaces? From 2017? Is that it?
Yeah,
Can we? Yeah. So
yeah, we can
it's
say that.
and during those 7.5 years, what would you mark as your top accomplishment?
I guess the biggest thing for me working in blockchain is that this movement is global, and I have the chance to interact and work with people from all around the world. Being able to get along with the people you work with, or even just the people you interact with, because as much as I've been trying to be positive in saying that, oh, blockchain unites us, there are many, many ways when you're talking about crypto and networks and tokens. It's divisive. These
Mhm.
conversations can very easily have people disagree with one another, right? So
Sure.
I guess one of the biggest things for me is learning to just get along, really.
Okay. So, what are you trying to accomplish at this moment?
At this point, I'd like to expand my skill set beyond just being a marketing strategist or a content guy and meet perhaps developers, founders, learn from them where I can contribute better my skills and experience, right? Because in this day and age, I do not believe anyone can afford to just rely on what kind of skills they currently have. You do have to be constantly learning the newest and latest technology to not even just get ahead, to be on a level playing field with everyone. Because hey, people are using it. You better start doing it if you don't.
So, you're looking to expand your skill set, your knowledge in the AI space, your like practical knowledge as well, and you're interested in contributing to different projects by connecting with founders, developers, and other team members who potentially have some really valuable and impactful projects for the space. And that brings me to my last question about what you've learned during your journey and you would like to share with the listener.
Working in this space has afforded us the luxury of meeting people from all around the world, from different cultures, different skill sets. So I think the one thing that I've learned is definitely try things out, and I believe the Web3 space has given us a lot of different things to look at every single day.
Okay. Thanks for joining me today, Geoff. Thanks for
Thank
the
you.
insight,
Thank you, Hack, for the invite.
and I'll see you in the next episode.